Hi y'all, Mackenzie Weddock here with Wedco Insurance, and today we're going to talk about the basics of insurance and what you need to know. So let's start off simple. What is insurance? Well, the most easy and simple way to put it is that it is financial protection against unexpected loss. That's it. Some other key terms that you're going to want to know and that will lay the groundwork for the conversation are premium. That's going to be your recurring payment that essentially activates the policy. It's what you pay in, typically monthly, sometimes annually, semi-annually. There's lots of options, but your recurring payment. Number two is going to be deductible. That's going to be the amount that you have to pay in the situation of a claim. So these deductibles can change based on your policy and the customization you set up with your agent. But let's say you have a $2,000 deductible and you get into a car accident. That means that you have to pay $2,000 out of pocket, and then your insurance company will cover the remainder, say $20,000 for example. So that deductible can change, but that's what it is. It's what you pay out of pocket in the case of a claim. Next is going to be a claim. So that is basically what happens whenever you do have an accident or there is that unexpected loss. A claim is whenever we call the insurance company and say, hey, I had this loss. I need your help covering everything. That's all it is. Just the formal process of actually submitting that and turning in a claim of an accident. Last thing is going to be the policy. Policy is just the contract between you as the insured and the insurance company. It just says, hey, I'm going to pay you my premium on a recurring basis. And in exchange of that, the insurance company's their end of the contract says, in the situation of loss that's outlined in the policy, we will help you kind of recoup from those losses and pay a certain amount. That's all there really is. So we know some of the basics of insurance. We know some of the basic terms. Now let's talk about the typical policies that the average person needs. Since we've been talking about auto and car accident, let's start there. So auto insurance is pretty much what it sounds like. It's just covering your vehicle and you in the case of any accidents, whether you cause them or someone else. It's required in the state of Texas. It's required in many states, but not all states. So your specific agent will know the required limits and the kind of legal components around it that have to be in place. And then things can be customized from there. But that's auto insurance. Pretty much everybody needs it if you have a car. So auto insurance, number one. Number two is going to be homeowners insurance. So you need homeowners insurance if you own a home, a structure that people live in. That is going to cover the home, the building itself, the walls, all of those things, as well as the contents inside the home, as well as liability. We'll talk about liability in a minute, but it basically is just going to protect you against other people kind of having accidents in your home of sorts. So homeowners insurance covers the structure, the inside, or the contents and your liability. Number three is going to be renter's insurance. So if you don't own the structure that you live in, if you're renting that or leasing that from a landlord or an apartment complex, condo, townhome, all those different things, you need renter's insurance. That is not always required, but it's always recommended. And that's going to cover the contents inside the building or inside the home. So that would be like your furniture, your technology, TVs, jewelry, all of those things that you bring into the home. Renter's insurance is going to cover that for you. So that's a really big one. That's very important. Those are kind of the three general basics that are going to be most vital in this season of life. But I want to touch on business insurance really quick. It's a really big umbrella of a lot of different things underneath it. But business insurance, if you own a business or if you're thinking about starting a business or anything like that, you need business insurance. Every state has different requirements of what you have to have. But even if you're a blue collar worker and you have tools and equipment and things like that that are required to do your job, you need insurance to protect those things. Or even if your job is simply digital, you still have a certain liability and a risk in what the business that you're conducting and what you're sending out to clients or things like that. So you still need insurance in that situation. So no matter what your business is, no matter how small it is or how large, you probably need business insurance of some extent to cover yourself, especially in the sue happy world that we live in. So the last thing I want to touch on is life insurance. Life insurance is the one thing that today is the best day to buy it. The reason I say that is the two factors that impact your life insurance rate are going to be your age and your health. Well, tomorrow you're going to be a day older, and tomorrow is also an opportunity for another diagnosis or something to happen to you that would affect your health. So now is the perfect time to buy. There's two types. There's whole life and term life. I won't go into the details, but just know that there are financial options that can meet your needs no matter what they are, as well as just taking care of your family. Life insurance is the most selfless thing that you can do. It's not for you. It's for your family and what you leave behind in the case of an accident, in case of losing you. So keep that in mind. Life insurance is the best thing. It's the best time to buy it. So remember that. Okay, so you know this information. You know some of the basic policies and some of the basic terms. What do you need to do with that? Well, now it's the time to find your perfect agent. There's two different types of agencies that you're going to run into. We have captive agencies and we have independent agencies. Let's start with captive. Captive is going to be those big names that you typically know. You probably see their billboards, see their commercials, that kind of thing. They're great. They typically have one product line to offer. They sell, if it's ABC Insurance, they sell ABC Home Insurance, ABC Renters Insurance. They're typically great policies. There's nothing wrong with those. But on the flip side, we have independent agencies. This is what Wedco is. Independent agencies have a different capability to prioritize the relationship over the product and the sale. It depends on what you want out of an agent. Independent agencies like us get to work with a numerous amount of insurance companies, sometimes even these big name captives over here, along with so many others, so that whenever you come to us and you say, hey, this is what I have going on in life, this is the business I'm starting, or this is where I'm moving to college, what do I need? What do I do? We're able to take all of that information and shop it with all of our different carriers. Sometimes even the ABC company over here, we can get you a price with them too. So we shop it for you, we take that work off of you, and then we come back to you with options and we can pick and choose the best option that suits you. Now, why that's important is because next year, this may be something you're aware of, but your renewal will come in and they'll say, okay, your first year was good. Here's your rate for your second year if you want to stay with us. Renewals are going up in today's world. That's a whole other conversation, but it's normal, even if you don't do anything wrong or you don't have any claims. So sometimes what happens is if you're with ABC Insurance captive agency and your renewal comes up and you're like, I don't really want to do that. That means you have to start all over with a brand new agency and a brand new agent. Whereas with an independent agency like Wedco, if your renewal comes up and it's higher than you want to pay, no big deal. We have other companies in-house that we can shop it with to find you the best rate, which means you get to keep the relationship with your agent. They get to see you grow through life and in these new life stages and walk alongside you with every new purchase and big life change that needs to be insured or even needs to be taken off of insurance. That's the point, is the relationship. So as you step into whatever's next for you, find an agent that you know and that you trust and that you feel seen and valued with. It's so important, especially in today's world, especially with how many liability risks there are and how much people sue and all of these things. It's super, super important that you have someone that you can trust that's protecting you and your assets. That's the basics of insurance. You're going to be successful no matter where you go.